In 2016, the Golden State Warriors won 73 games. That broke a record everyone thought was untouchable. Yet legends still point to the 1996 Bulls. So why does that team still stand alone? The answer goes deeper than wins. The Chicago Bulls won every major award in one season. They had MVP, Sixth Man, Coach, and Executive of the Year. They also started 4 future Hall of Fame defenders. No other team has done this. For Michael Jordan, this season was personal. It was his first full year back after his father's death. Every night, he played with controlled anger. Nothing felt safe against them. We are breaking down why this team never cracked. By the end, you will know the difference between winning big and being invincible. The I'm Back Revenge Tour. After 17 months away, Michael Jordan returned with one goal. The loss to Orlando in 1995 stayed burning. That summer, he filmed Space Jam, but trained in a private gym. The anger stayed quiet. At age 33, he played his first full season back. He led the NBA in scoring with 30.4 points. Younger stars watched, thinking time would slow him. Instead, his mid-range game became deadly. The King evolved. He played all 82 games with no rest. Veterans stood, while young teams ran fast. The league felt fear. One piece was missing, and a dangerous move was coming next. The Dennis Rodman gamble. In October 1995, the Chicago Bulls took a huge risk. They traded for Dennis Rodman, known for chaos, not control. Fans worried he would break chemistry fast. Rodman stood only 6'7", but played much bigger. The fear was real. He led the NBA with 14.9 rebounds per game. Centers taller than him were worked non-stop, like hiring a genius rebel who ignores the dress code. Jordan and Pippen respected his effort and discipline. Something unexpected happened. The defense tightened, holding teams under 93 points. Late nights never slowed his engine. With this piece, the league began to suffocate. The 41-3 coronation. By February 2nd, 1996, the Chicago Bulls had lost only 3 games. They were winning nearly every night with no real stress. Opponents arrived hoping to survive, not win. Hope left the building. They won their first 12 games with ease. The margin sat at plus 12.3, the highest then. It felt like facing someone who knew every move. Even losses told a story. Those 3 losses came by 15 points total. The media changed, asking about 70 wins. Staying sharp became the hardest battle. Control replaced chaos. Phil Jackson often stayed silent in timeouts. The players solved games on their own. Power had turned into quiet rule. The Triangle of Terror. Under Phil Jackson, the Bulls ran the triangle offense with total control. It turned talent into order, not chaos. The team played chess, while others played checkers. Thinking became a weapon. Tony Kukoc led the bench and won Sixth Man. At 6'11", he passed and scored with calm vision. The system forced trust, even from Michael Jordan. Ego stepped aside. That trust unlocked Steve Kerr for clean shots. He hit 51.5% from 3. The bench grew leads, not stress. Depth decided nights. 70 wins arrived, but the past waited in the playoffs. The revenge sweep. In the Eastern Finals, the Chicago Bulls met the Orlando Magic again. This time, the meeting felt cold and final. 1 year earlier, Orlando made Jordan look human. That memory did not fade. The Bulls swept the series 4-0. They won by an average margin of 11.5. Michael Jordan averaged 29.5 per game. He read every defense and answered early. The future tried to rise. Shaquille O'Neal and Penny were called the next era. The Bulls proved the present still owned the league. After the sweep, Orlando broke apart. Only the finals remained, and Seattle was waiting. The Father's Day finale. On June 16, 1996, the Chicago Bulls returned home for Game 6. They led the series 3-2 after a slip in Seattle. For Michael Jordan, this night was heavy. It was Father's Day. It was the first Father's Day since 1993. The Bulls won 87-75. Jordan fell to the locker room floor, crying with the ball. Pain met purpose. Dennis Rodman owned the glass with 19 rebounds. The team finished 87-13 overall. Jordan struggled shooting, but defense carried. The crown was sealed. A new challenge waited years later, rising from Golden State. 73-9 versus the legend. In 2015-16, the Golden State Warriors finished 73-9. Led by Stephen Curry, the season looked perfect on paper. The debate turned smart, not emotional. Numbers entered the room. The Warriors fired 31 threes a night. The Bulls took only 15, playing a different game. It felt like a new machine racing an old classic. Speed met soul. The twist came from Steve Kerr coaching both eras. The world leaned toward a new crown. Then pressure arrived. Physical defense waited for finesse offense. The record stood, but the ring still belonged to Chicago. The unfinished business caveat. In the 2016 finals, the Golden State Warriors lost a 3-1 lead. The title slipped, and the season collapsed. 73 wins turned from a crown into a curse. The room went quiet. The Bulls remained the only team to win 70-plus games and a championship. That difference changed how history judged both teams. It felt like failing the final test after perfect homework. Context matters. The loss strengthened the 1996 Bulls. Talent debates grew louder, but consistency stayed rare. Super teams came, but finishing stayed hard. Pressure tells truth. Chasing records drained the Warriors early. The question shifted, asking what made Chicago untouchable. The perimeter locked down. The 1996 Bulls built their power on defense first. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman formed a wall. Opponents felt like they were dribbling through arms. Space disappeared fast. 4 Bulls made the all-defense team that season. No champion has ever matched that. It was like using a phone with no signal. Offense failed early. Ron Harper gave up scoring pride for lockdown duty. Underhand checking, bodies were moved on contact. Modern shooters would struggle here. Pressure ruled games. Pippen's wingspan erased positions. Defense defined their legacy. But dominance lasted because time stayed theirs. The 3-year invincibility window. Between 1996 and 1998, the Chicago Bulls went 203-43. They never trailed in a single playoff series. Respect became permanent, not temporary. This was sustained power. They held a net rating above 10 across multiple title years. No other champions have repeated that level. It felt like a game dynasty that never got nerfed. Balance never arrived. Behind the scenes, Jerry Krause planned to end it all. The team knew they were being dismantled. They still won, with no excuses. Perfection beat chaos. Modern super teams fell apart from ego or injury. The Bulls stopped only because they were forced to stop. 2 straight seasons reached 141 wins. Cold-blooded dominance became their final signature. The aura of invincibility. The 1996 Chicago Bulls were more than a team. They became a mental weapon inside the league. Opponents felt lucky just to share the court. Fear arrived before tip-off. Most super teams win with flashy offense. The Bulls won with discipline and control. Their real power was doing nothing wrong. Perfection looks boring. Greatness shows in the distance to second place. That season, the gap became massive. The Golden State Warriors earned 73 wins. The Bulls kept the aura. One became a number, the other became a legend. Looking back from 2026, the Chicago Bulls still stand as the gold standard. They reached full control in one season. No other team has matched that level. That truth stayed. If you want more deep dives into dynasties that shaped sports history, subscribe now. One debate still burns. Could the Bulls stop the Golden State Warriors under modern rules? Or would shooting finally win? Comment below, because the world is yours.